Victor was a simple guy. He worked his job, he came home, he watched videos online. Every day he saw clips of this game. This game was called PUBG. It looked amazing. Players jumped from a plane, they landed on a huge island, they had to find weapons and gear. Then they fought until only one team was left standing. It was more than just a game, it was a battle, it was a test of skill, a test of smarts. Victor wanted to feel that excitement. He wanted to see if he had what it took to be a survivor. The stories he heard were legendary. His friends talked about their chicken dinners. They talked about epic snipes from hundreds of meters away. They described tense moments hiding in a small shack, hearing enemy footsteps get closer and closer. Victor felt a pull towards this world of action and strategy. He was tired of just watching from the sidelines. He craved the adrenaline rush, the feeling of outsmarting an opponent. He decided it was time. He would download the game, he would create his own legend. He was ready to drop into the battlegrounds and forge his own path. So, he finally did it. He installed PUBG on his computer, he created his character, he named him Victor, a name that felt strong and hopeful. He didn't know anything about the best guns or the best places to land. All he had was a desire to win. He felt a mix of fear and excitement bubble up inside him. What if he was terrible at it? What if he was the first one eliminated every single time? But the thought of getting that final victory, that winner chicken dinner, was too strong to ignore. He was ready for the challenge, no matter how hard it was going to be. He pressed the play button for the very first time. The screen loaded and he found himself on a starting island with 99 other players. People were running around punching the air and showing off cool outfits. Victor just stood there looking at it all. The countdown timer started ticking. 10 seconds. 9. 8. He took a deep breath. The huge cargo plane appeared, its engines roaring. This was it. There was no turning back now. His heart pounded in his chest as the plane flew over the vast island of Erangel. His epic PUBG adventure was about to begin. Victor's first few games were a total disaster. He would jump from the plane with everyone else. He would see a big city like Pochinki and think, lots of buildings means lots of loot. Big mistake. He would land and barely have time to find a pistol before getting taken out by a fully geared player. Other times he would land in a quiet spot, spend 10 minutes finding awesome gear, and then get eliminated by the blue zone. The deadly energy field was always shrinking, and he kept forgetting to watch the map. It was frustrating, but he refused to give up. He started to learn from his mistakes. He watched how other players moved. He learned to listen carefully for the sound of footsteps or distant gunshots. He discovered that landing on the edge of the map was safer. It gave him more time to find a good rifle, a helmet, and a vest. He learned the names of the different guns. The M416 became his favorite because it was stable and reliable. He practiced controlling its recoil at the training grounds. Slowly, very slowly, he was no longer the first person to be eliminated. He was surviving for longer and longer each match. One game, he found himself in a small house. He heard a car pull up outside. 2 players rushed in. Victor's heart was beating so fast, he hid behind a door, holding his breath. As the first enemy came through, Victor jumped out and fired his shotgun. 1 down! The second player started shooting, but Victor was faster. He eliminated them both. It was his first double elimination. He felt a huge rush of victory. He wasn't a pro yet, not even close. But he was learning how to fight back. He was learning how to survive the chaos. This small victory gave him a huge confidence boost. He realized that PUBG was not just about shooting, it was about positioning and timing. It was a game of chess where every move mattered. He started thinking more strategically. He used smoke grenades to cross open fields safely. He used stun grenades to rush enemies hiding in buildings. Every single game was a new lesson. He was no longer just a spectator in the battleground, he was an active participant, a hunter who was slowly but surely learning the rules of this dangerous and exciting world. Victor realized that playing alone was tough. He decided to try playing with a team, a squad. He used the auto-matching feature and was paired with 3 other players. Their names were Ghost, Raven, and Sparky. At first, they didn't talk much, they just marked locations on the map and shared loot. But then, they got into a big fight. They were pinned down by another team. Victor used a smoke grenade to give them cover. Ghost flanked the enemy, and Raven provided sniper support. Sparky rushed in and finished the last one. They had worked together perfectly. After that victory, they started talking. They became a real team. Ghost was the quiet leader, always making smart calls. Raven was the amazing sniper who could hit unbelievable shots. Sparky was the funny and aggressive player who was always ready for a fight. And Victor, he was the reliable teammate. He was great with assault rifles and always made sure his team had what they needed, like extra ammo or medical kits. They played together every night. They learned each other's styles. They became more than just a team. They became good friends. Their teamwork made them so much better. They learned how to coordinate their attacks. Ghost would call out a plan, and everyone would follow it. They would drive around the map in a UAZ looking for fights. They learned how to breach buildings together, with one person throwing a grenade while the others rushed in from different doors. They celebrated their victories and laughed about their defeats. Victor was having more fun than ever before. He was not just playing a game anymore. He was sharing an adventure with his friends, and they were getting stronger together. With his squad, Victor's skills improved dramatically. He learned how to control his spray better in long-range fights. He got better at predicting where enemies would be. He even got his first AWM sniper rifle from an airdrop crate. He remembered how nervous he was holding the powerful weapon. Raven gave him some quick advice. Lead your shot, aim for the head. A few minutes later, Victor saw an enemy running across a field. He held his breath, aimed carefully, and fired. It was a perfect headshot. His squad cheered for him. He was becoming a truly skilled player. The moment of truth finally arrived. Victor and his squad had fought their way across the desert map of Miramar. It was a long and difficult match. They survived intense firefights in Los Leones and a dangerous bridge camp. Now, only 2 teams remained. Victor's squad and one other enemy team. The safe zone was tiny, just a small patch of rocky hills with almost no cover. The blue zone was closing in, forcing them to move. The tension was unbearable. This was the closest they had ever been to winning a chicken dinner together. Ghost made the call. We need to move to that ridge. Sparky, you throw smoke. Raven, cover us. Victor, you and I will push. It was a risky plan, but it was their only chance. Sparky threw a perfect line of smoke grenades, creating a wall of gray to hide their movement. As Victor ran, he could hear bullets whizzing past his head. He made it to the rocks just as his health dropped into the red. He quickly used a first aid kit, his hands shaking. He was safe for now, but the fight was far from over. The enemy was just on the other side of the ridge. The final battle began. It was chaos. Grenades were exploding everywhere. Sparky got knocked down and Raven was busy trying to find an angle to revive him. It was up to Victor and Ghost. They peeked over the rocks, trading shots with the last 2 enemies. Ghost managed to knock one down, one left. Victor! He's behind the big rock! Ghost shouted before he too was knocked down by a spray of bullets. It was all on Victor. 1 versus 1. His friends were spectating him, counting on him to clutch the win. His heart pounded like a drum. Victor took a deep breath. He remembered all his training, all the lessons he had learned. He didn't rush. He waited. He heard the enemy reloading their gun. That was his chance. He jumped out from behind the rock, aimed down his sights, and fired a controlled burst from his M416. The bullets hit their mark. The screen flashed with the most beautiful words he had ever seen. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. His squad erupted in cheers. Victor leaned back in his chair, a huge smile on his face. He had done it. Win or lose, the journey was amazing. But winning with his friends felt absolutely legendary.